Welcome back to the East Manchester experiment. Um, I wasn't sure quite who I would be playing. In the end, it was an absolute no-brainer, and you'll see why here. It's turned out that it's not a title decider. There's too far to go for that, but this is pretty close. At this stage of the season, is as close to as a title decider as you could possibly get. If we win this, we go a point ahead of Abbey Hay with a game in hand, and whilst it obviously wouldn't be the end of things, I would feel very, very comfortable at that point. I think I would almost say I would find it hard to believe that we wouldn't win the title from that position. If we lose today, we still could win the title, but I think it would be a lot harder. So this is a really, really big game, and I think in league terms is probably the most important game we've played so far. This is the team I'm going with. The only player missing today is Finley Hayhurst, who obviously has been our best player, so it will be a big miss that he's suspended for this game. So we will have to make do without him. I've got Jay Matete coming in and Ollie Roberts, who is not really great, but he should be able to do a job for me today. I toyed with the idea of playing a couple of others as well. Birkinshaw, who has been very underwhelming. Grant Horton, who also not great, and Jack Gurney, who just hasn't really looked up to the part really this season. He was very good last year, but in a league above, he seems to have really struggled to make that step up. So that's why I went with the pairing of Matete and Roberts in the end. But I have got Jazz Casey and Tim Akinola, who on the wings have been absolutely devastating for us. Exactly the same average rating, actually. It's interesting. And clearly they're going to be a big, big part of any success we're going to have today. Big game. Here we go. Cleaver and Connor Crowe continuing at fullback. Cleaver has really pushed on. I know he seems to have dropped back a little bit recently, but there were a lot of green arrows in there recently. And as you can see, there's plenty of very, very good attributes here. These green attributes are looking fantastic at this level. So 17 years old, still plenty of space for him to improve. I don't know if I'll be able to hold him to him much longer, but he's absolutely fantastic player to have this season at least. So here we go then, away to Abbey Hay at Old Trafford. Surely not. Yes, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's not realistic. Has anyone ever seen this before? North West Counties League Premier Division, Abbey Hay are playing at Old Trafford. It is absurd. It really is. I'm playing at Old Trafford, everyone. I'm playing at Old Trafford as East Manchester. It's ridiculous. Oh god, I didn't see that one coming. Okay, well, here we go then. At Old Trafford. I hope that's not going to have a massive impact and make everyone really nervous. Because they're used to playing here. They play here every game. I hope it's not 75,000 people. That really would be stupid. Have a man over here. Certainly a striker in the middle who is in a lot of space. But Partington picks up the ball here. Looks like they are going to get a chance out of it. But Casey picks up the ball on the right, and we can possibly hit them on the break after all. Over the top. That's the tactics this year that seems to have worked. Gee through. Shoot. He shoots. It's a goal. Great ball from Jazz Casey over to Max Gee, and Jack Gee scores his 14th of the season. And in a really crucial game, it's Abbey Hay 0, East Manchester 1. What a start for the team. Great ball from Casey there. Bit of hit and hope, of course, but that's life at this level. And a really, really good start to the game. And as you can see, that puts us top of the league. And with that game in hand as well, it gives us a bit of a cushion. Nearing half time now. If we can get to half time at 1-0, I would feel pretty good about this. Team is playing well. No significant mistakes made. I'd like to see a little bit more perhaps from some of the attacking players. The only people who are not on grey at the moment are the people involved in the actual goal. That's always a little bit of a misleading stat. But they're playing well enough that we're 1-0 up against our title rivals, so I'm not unhappy. Continue this for a while. We're playing quite well. Certainly in terms of keeping them out. They've only had one chance, and it was from a free kick. This shot here you can see. Francis Cale. Roberts has it in midfield up to Mason. Mason passes it to his midfield partner in Matete. Tries to find Gee. Doesn't look like he's going to get there, but maybe he'll put it back. Yes, he's got the ball. And it looks like it might be a penalty. No. It does that to me a lot, this match engine. It seems to think there's penalties and there isn't. I don't know whether that was an appeal or whether he just stopped walking there. But they're in with a chance here. and it's 1-1. Hanu Tam again, a ball over the top. There's too many of those in this game. I know it's a low level, but it happens far too often. It's too obvious. And it's 1-1. Partington with the ball over the top. Who's that defender? Yeah, I know that at this level you're going to get defenders making mistakes, but every time you think they'd start learning that it's going to happen. And Kales puts another one in. 2 goals in no time at all. And from 1-0 up and cruising, we are now suddenly up against it. We need to try and get a goal back quite quickly, because I don't want to draw here. I want to try and win this one. Keep the run going and really turn the screw in terms of the title race. Akinola has the ball on the left wing now. Still over 20 minutes to go, so plenty of time here. But we do need to get a goal quite soon, and we need to stop allowing the ball to break free so easily. The midfield being overrun here. I wonder what we can do about that. I'll think about that in a sec. If they score now, it's not worth worrying about. And they have Thomas Powell Davis. It's all a bit too easy. It's a shame, and the game that we could have used to really kind of secure our title credentials, and we're kind of being blown away here, really. Oh, shocking defending. Pursehouse in particular today has been poor. I knew that right back was an issue. I've been saying it for a while, but I just can't find anyone to improve on it. The other problem, of course, is that even when I do find decent players at the moment, I can't sign them because I haven't got the money. Just run out. I need a big cup win at some point, otherwise I'm going to really have a problem. I'm pretty sure at some point I'm going to have a season where relegation is the thing I'm fighting, and not title race. That was offside. Obviously this season is a title race, even though I think this is going to make things difficult now. It's by no means impossible, but it may well be that at some point soon, hopefully in the league above, but maybe even in this league, things will get harder because the money just stops us from getting the players that we need to really improve. I don't think we'll struggle in this league ever, but I could see us getting up if we manage to get promoted next season, say, because the team isn't that far away. If we do manage to get promoted, I think we will really struggle in the next league, unless we can win a League Cup. That's the thing that could change that. As you can see at the moment, we're actually behind Northwich. That would change if we could win our game in hand, but it's certainly a pity. I haven't made any substitutions, mainly because I'd kind of written it off about, well, as soon as the third goal went in, really, I'd written this game off. Just bring on a few subs for the sake of fresh players. Every time I think that things are going really well, it feels like the team kind of bring me back to earth a little bit, which I suppose is fine. It's realistic. It's normal. A team that's doing well, you're not going to win every game. That's surely offside there. And this time it is a penalty, I think. Yep, it's a penalty to Abbey Hay to make it. So it's really rubbing salt into the wounds now. Connor Crowe sent off as well. Goodness me, it's not been a good day for him. Not been a good day for any of us. There's no point making a substitution. A couple of minutes to go, 4-1 down probably. Tam steps up, and he puts the penalty away, and we're getting absolutely slaughtered here. A real pity, and a game that we really wanted to win. We'll have to go again. We'll have to make sure that things improve. But it's certainly a bit of a reminder that this team is not yet what it needs to be, certainly to stay up in the next division, and possibly not even to get promoted from this one. A really poor performance there. Not what I was expecting at all. I thought it would be close. I actually thought we were probably marginal favourites. Never thought we would win it easily, but I thought we were marginal favourites for sure. And that's a really disappointing defeat. I think all that really remains for me to say is when I'm going to be back. My first thought is that it kind of depends on how well I do, because if the title race is off now, then it almost doesn't matter. But if we do get back into it, then obviously at some point I would want to find a game that would be crucial. My guess is it will probably be quite late now. I don't see a huge amount of point in live comming, certainly unless something changes. If it looks like we're starting to get out of the title race. We're not at the moment out of the title race at all. But we are going to need something to change, because that game kind of showed us really that we are behind Abbey Hay at the moment. How far behind, we'll find out, but we're behind them. And whether we can turn that round in 4 months, I'm not sure. I think it's 3 months actually, because I think this league probably finishes in April actually. It was harsh. Okay, I'm going to appeal. Don't see that very often. I'm going to appeal against the ban. I mean, it didn't really matter, to be fair. We were going to lose that game anyway. So it's not like I can feel too hard done by particularly. But you never want to see a red card that wasn't deserved, I suppose. Walton will come in for the next game. It's not exactly a massive problem that I don't particularly care for that game. It does mean that we're short on the bench, but oh well. So as I say, next game it will be. I think it's going to be quite fluid, and it will depend a huge amount on results and how things go from now on. I'm not going to bother with the FA Vars, as I mentioned to you before. I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference. It's not a lot of money involved. I don't see it as something that's going to particularly enhance my reputation. So I'll probably be back if things pick up and we start to be sort of involved again. I'll probably be back in around the end of February. But if not, it may well be a case of sort of leaving it to later on and finding a game that has some interest for some reason, whether that's Northwich Victoria because I've heard of them, but probably more likely because I will go for a team that I haven't live commed yet. So I will do one more this season, but unless things improve, it may only be one more. So I will. That means it is possible I will skip a day, and you may not get a video tomorrow. I will do my best. I will see how things go, but I do work as well, so there's no way I'm going to get through the whole of the rest of this season in the next 24 hours. So I hope I may see you again, and it will mean that things are improved before the end of the season. But if they don't, if you don't get a video tomorrow, you can assume that this is a season that's kind of petered out a bit, and we are not going to get promoted. As I say, we are very much not out of the title race. We're not giving a hand. We're 2 points behind. There's every chance we could still make that up. But I think we proved today that we are not quite at the level of Abbey Hay yet, and we need a few more players to really make that step up. Alex Pursehouse in particular is a problem. I think that's the place I've identified at the moment in the team where we are weakest and most vulnerable. Left back isn't a lot better. But he's just been a little bit more consistent. His higher mentals mean that perhaps he's a little bit more concentration. There's a little bit more concentration there. There's a little bit more composure, and he doesn't make quite so many mistakes. But he certainly needs to be improved as well long term, and both fullbacks really. So I'll see you next game. Again for I think the second. It feels like the second in row. Maybe the second out of 3. It feels like a bit of a, it was when I lost in the League Cup that I was a bit down, wasn't it? Because that was a game we really should have won. But this time, from a league point, this is the first time I think we've been really struggling. As I say, we've got promoted twice in a row, relatively easily. This is definitely, without doubt, going to be the hardest season we've had so far. Even if we do manage to get promoted, it's going to be a tough grind, and it's looking like, well, it might not happen at all. So I'll be back at some point. Please come back, and hopefully it'll be tomorrow. If not, then the day after. I'm sorry, I've been a bit rambly again. Last couple of minutes of the video could probably been cut, but I'm sorry about that. I should mention as well here before I go that one of the previous videos, I think it was 2 days ago, I know that the sound quality was pretty poor. I obviously had the microphone just a little bit too close to my mouth. I'm still quite new with this, and I'm still trying to work it out. I'm sorry about that. I'm sort of need to work out exactly what it needs to be. I know it needs to be mainly green, doesn't it, in the equalizer, and it is at the moment. So apologies for that. Hopefully things will start to get better gradually. Please do keep leaving comments in the comment section and let me know what you would like to see, what you'd like me to improve, any tips for my management itself, and that will be greatly appreciated. And I will mention people who do that in the videos as well, and thank them personally. Thanks very much, and I will see you next time.